Hey guys, I'm finally back with my video response, and it has been a while. It's kind of weird having the Bliss only once a month. I have to say that I would prefer it to be more than once a month, but whatever the guys can manage, I guess, is better than no Bliss. Perhaps once every 2 weeks is manageable. Who knows? Who knows? Either way, great episode, guys. Great episode. I love how you put in the music here and there, and the format was a little bit more structured and everything. Bumperlish Steve would be proud this time. But anyway, it's been a while. I listened to the episode quite a few times. These days, I catch a train to work, which really, really sucks. Sucks monkey's nuts, I'll tell you that. I catch a bus and 2 trains for an hour and 45 minutes each way. Yeah, pays the bills. So, anyway, I get to listen to the Bliss on the way there and back. And strangely enough, on your iPhone or iPod, I guess, or it has to be a touch, you can put it down as double speed. And strangely enough, in that interview that PT had with, who was it, Matthew Goins of Blue Chip Picks, I'm not saying the guy's simple because he's not, but he talks a little bit slow, and I managed to put it onto double speed, and it was cool. Got through that part, understood everything. It was basically like, I guess, Australians, because we talk a little bit faster. It was just like talking fast. It was cool. So it worked out quite well, actually, on the train rides in and back. It's kind of weird, though. I've never actually listened to an iPod. I didn't even think I had an iPod, and then I realised I've got an iPhone. There you go. I have an iPod Touch, but it doesn't work properly. Got that from the Lost Property Department at my old work. But anyway, but that was a cool interview. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it well. It was really interesting how he was talking about how you have to actually sort of mill it or machine the material and how expensive it is. Personally, I would actually really like to get my hands on one of those picks. I'm still kind of trying to justify $35 for a pick. I guess it would never leave the house if I bought that. 35 bucks. But still, it seems like a pretty good investment to make if you're really into your picks, which I am. Lately, though, I've been using this here. Let's hope you can sort of see that behind my hand here. That focuses in. I've been using a Jazz 3, the pointy one. It's going to be black, of course, and it's kind of strange. I always used to use Dunlop nylon 1 mils, which are also in black, strangely enough. And I don't know what it is about these little Jazz sort of picks. I got one because I was watching a snippet on a video from Mark Tremonti, The Sound and the Story, I think it's called, that Pappy recommended on an episode a while ago. And I thought to myself, yeah, I'll try those out. And I tried them out years ago, I didn't really like it. And instantly, strangely enough, I had more control over my picking hand. I guess it gives you sort of like a tighter picking hand because you don't have much of the pick sticking out, and I could automatically play faster, more accurately, a lot more cleaner. So it's a really weird sensation, but yeah. So I guess the pick makes all the difference. But I did like that interview, and I thought that was really cool. So anyway, let's just go down the list here. It's been a while because I can hardly remember. Just kidding, of course I remember. Let's talk about all the reviews first. All the reviews, guys. Doug Darrell's review on the Jake Blade. I saw that earlier on the forum when you posted a few pictures and that sort of thing, and a couple of the sound samples. Real interesting concept there. I guess it comes down to the individual as well, because like you were saying, it's a compromise. You can't pick and use a trem as well, but you seem to be using it quite well. And yeah, I remember you posted a video of a guy playing one, and the camera was right up there on the bridge. And real interesting device there. It kind of reminds me of, is it Phil X? It has like the whammy stick and it sticks out far from the guitar, and it's like a big sort of chopstick thing. Now, I guess everyone's got a different way of using things, but I thought that was a really cool review. I really enjoyed it, especially the sound samples. Sound really cool. What have we got next? Dave Mack with a couple of segments. We've got the guitar for £1. That's interesting for a Black Beauty. It's kind of strange. Every time I walk past, we don't really have sort of thrift stores here in Australia. We do, but they don't really sell clothes and things like that. We've got I guess they're called cash converters, like a pawn shop. And I'm always walking past thinking, I wonder, you know, if someone gets something in one of these shops and they don't know how much gear is worth, because normally second-hand guitars are worth an absolute fortune. Well, they're not really worth it, they just charge a fortune. So I'm always looking for a deal. But if I saw that Black Beauty in the window, I would have been like, yeah, here's £100. Thanks, I'll take it. And the smoking amp, as some of the guys on the forum know, I've made a couple of smoking amps. Made one in an actual cigarette box, and one that was just basically a power amp that I put into a tiny little black sort of box called a Scartone power amp. It was pretty cool. I gave it to a friend for his birthday though. I plugged in that little Black Star cab there into those 10-inch speakers. It really sounded really nice. Like Dave Max said, there's always a little hint of grit in your sound, but that's cool. You get that from it. It's a really, really simple thing to make, and like Dave said, if anyone hasn't got one or hasn't tried one, go out there and try it, but plug it in to a proper speaker cap, and you'll be amazed at what this thing sounds like. Yeah, it's nothing special, but to get you by for practice, it's really, really cool. Yeah, I think Dave's actually made a few as well, so yeah, really cool thing to have, under $50. We've got our review from Pappy on the book, the Blues book. I read your post on the 5th Fret about that. Interesting concept on the book there. And I've got a real problem with guitar books. I've got a couple of them. I bought them, I skimmed through them once. I'm just not motivated whatsoever to use the books at all. I don't know what it is. I've even got some guitar DVDs which I watch them and I just can't concentrate enough. So yeah, hopefully I'll find a book sometime or somewhere so I can actually learn about music more to be able to do it. But that book sounds cool, and I think it said $20. Maybe I'll be able to get it for that price. Ship it here. It's just a book; it can't cost much. So, but that was cool. You know, I like that sort of segment. I like how the Bliss is sort of dedicated to a theme and something like that. I guess you would call it sort of, or certain types of segments, which is really good. I did enjoy doing that review, I guess you could call it, or pick on the Boss DS1. This thing it's pretty good now. Not to say that the original tone is bad, it's just a certain type of tone, and you could even say it's an outdated tone, because this thing was designed a long time ago. But every pedal has its place, and the original tone of this definitely does have its place. It's just a little bit fuzzy for my likings, but this now is pretty cool. So if you guys get the opportunity to go out and get a DS1, and you haven't owned one, I think everyone should own a DS1 at least once in their life, even if it's second-hand. Get one for $20 on eBay and enjoy it. It's a cool pedal to take around with you, and you know, they're Boss pedals, so they're built tough. You don't have to worry about them. Don't worry about them breaking or anything like that. And yeah, so I urge anybody, please mod your DS1 if you don't like its original sound. Well worth it. Well worth it. So anyway, what's next here as I just look through the show notes on the Offspring. Let's talk about the Offspring. So the Offspring had a huge influence on me when I was in school. I kind of listened to whatever was cool at the time, and the people I hung around with at the time listened to hip-hop and R&B or rap. I thought that's all there was. You know, and the Offspring, that's actually a band that really changed my perspective on music. There was a guy a couple of years above me in my sister's year, used to always talk to me. Don't know why. You know, don't normally talk to the younger grades. But anyway, so he gave me a mixtape, yes, a tape, a cassette, and it had the Offspring's Ixnay on the Hombre, and I just thought that was a fantastic album. I love the real fast, tight, you know, riffing from Noodles, and I thought it was great, and that introduced me to starting into punk rock and so forth, and then for me, I progressed into heavy metal, and then you could say death metal. So the Offspring, you know, is a band that's real dear to me, and real sort of dear to my heart, sort of thing. And Smash is also a really, really cool album. Although my favourite album is Ixnay on the Hombre, but yeah, I think it's really, really great. And Pipes, that's awesome that your son at such a young age is getting into music and he's understanding it and actually taking a preference to it. I mean, I didn't get really into music until my senior year of high school, really. You know, it wasn't until then until I really understood it. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on because it's getting kind of late, and yeah, thought it was a nice episode, guys. Alicia, thank you for playing my song. I'm talking about Fuzz, or whatever I called it back then. That was a while ago now, wasn't it? It was really, really cool to hear that again. I was quite surprised or shocked that it was chosen for an outro song. And yeah, that was the first album that I was on for the Bliss. So thank you very much for playing it. Guys, thanks for the great episode. And yeah, for everyone, my apologies, came out so late. Do yourself a favor, don't buy top-of-the-line Logitech equipment. I'm going to blame Logitech for this. My webcam, C910 HD webcam, drivers decided to stuff up, wouldn't work. Well, the Logitech software wouldn't turn on properly and all that sort of thing. And then I decided to go out and get myself a new keyboard because my Creative Prodi keys doesn't work with Windows 7 and started really stuffing up and not working properly. So I went out and I got, you can't really see it there, I bought a gaming keyboard that lights up. Thought, why not? It was $50. And then it started, because all Logitech software is integrated with each other, and it started stuffing up the webcam and everything else. And then my mouse, my Logitech mouse, started having issues and all that sort of thing. So yeah, no more Logitech for me. So yeah, maybe just use a normal video camera and use my real microphones. That's another thing with this thing. I can't use my real microphones because it has phase issues. Phase issues. That's crap. I'm going to stop ranting about this camera, guys. But once again, thanks for the awesome episode, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, just before I go, why not? I was just thinking about that. You know, Pipes, you were saying, how does Noodles get so fast? And then Pappy said he practices with a metronome. That's exactly what I used to do. I used to get up every morning when I worked at the reasonable hours of the day. Didn't have to travel so long. I used to get up and practice for 45 minutes to an hour every morning, except for the weekends, because I'm way in hell I was going to get up at bloody 6 o'clock in the morning. One of the things I would do, I used to watch YouTube videos, and Mick Thompson from Slipknot, he was saying one of the best things you can do to work on your palm muting, or down picking, sort of palm muting, is to just get a metronome, not even play any chords, and just start palm muting. You know, just palm it. So basically, and you grab your guitar and let's see. And I used to seriously sit there with the metronome and just go like this, you know, for about 30 seconds. Take a break, put the metronome up, and then take a break, put the metronome up, and then just keep going and keep going. And you don't need a lot of practice as well. 10 minutes every day is actually enough if you're just doing that. And if it gets bored, you know, just throw in a few power chords. You know, just do that sort of thing. Or you could get a riff, like a lot of people, what they practice with, I guess, is, you know, Master of Puppets, which everybody tries to do. Start off slow. Just start trying to play the intro. Just keep going, keep going. And, you know, I was just thinking, how fast can you get? But it's just true, you know, the more you practice with that metronome, the faster and faster you actually do get. Muscles build up in your hands. And there was one point when I was doing that, it was like a machine gun. You know, I could just get so much accuracy, so you know, the timing was good enough, that sort of thing. And yeah, the metronome, your best friend. So Pappy tells the truth, and that is how it's done. So I recommend every day, guys, 10 minutes. Just sit there, do it in 30 seconds, or 10 minutes, 1 minute drills. Just sit there with the metronome. You know, divide up the metronome beats if you want to. I used to do like sort of 2 strokes per 1 beat. Make myself feel big when I got to 160. But you know, just keep going, take a break, then a bit faster, Makes a huge difference. Huge difference. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for the episode. Can't wait for the next, and bliss on.